Hi there. I'm Lee Whittier, the Dog Show Mentor, and I'm happy to be here today. It's Wednesday, it's noon Pacific time, and we are here to find out from you what kind of goals you have been setting, what kind of decisions you have been making, and how that's going for you. So, put your name in the chat, where you're from, and your breed. You know how it goes. And I'm excited to see who's here and what you have to say. And I know some of you have said, "Oh, we want to know what you have to say, Lee." Well, you'll get what I have to say as well. Don't worry about that. All right. So put your name in the chat. Who's here? We're going to talk about goals today. And so sometimes as individuals in life, hi Jeannie with Irish Wolfhounds from Iowa. That is really one of my favorite breeds. Hey, Betty Ann from Virginia with Border Terriers. Nice to hear from you. Good to see you. And Debbie from Colorado, Tibetan Mastiffs. 2022 goal is top 5 ranking and an invite to WKC. You go, girl. Mitra, Hafanese, Kiamanish. Rebecca Hoffman from Virginia with Brittany's and Nikki with Karen's from Fort Lauderdale, Florida. Welcome, everybody. Welcome, Marie DeRosa from New Jersey, Doug de Bordeaux. And okay, so, I wrote an article for Showsite and it's going to appear next month. And I wanted to give you a little preview of that. In life, we have individual decision-making processes. And so sometimes we come to our processes organically, as it were. We don't really consider it goal setting. We just sort of look in a direction and start walking, right? And then other times that decision is made like a thunderbolt. And so some of you, I'll bet, and hey, Kathleen with chins, and Chloe does juniors with her chin puppy. Nice. That's wonderful. I love seeing kids with chins. Mary Gail, California. Hey, Mary. Nice to see you. And Joni from Wisconsin. And Tammy from Missouri. What breeds do you have, ladies? All right. Kevin Wittenberg from German Shepherd Dogs. Wittenberg Sar. Excuse me. And Maggie with Otterhounds, also one of my favorite breeds. All right. They're all my favorites, aren't they? Okay, good. All right. Cindy from Pennsylvania, Spanish Water Dogs, I believe. And Tammy Tackett with Papillons. All right. So sometimes we don't consider it goal setting. We just start walking in a direction, right? One step, another step, one step, another step. And sometimes we get it like a thunderbolt, right? Maybe as a kid, you saw somebody at Westminster winning Best in Show. And all of a sudden you thought, that's what I want to do. I want to be a professional handler and I want to win Best in Show at the Garden. Hey, Mary Myers from Pennsylvania, welcome. So how have you made goals? How did you get into dogs? How is that goal made? Or did you have a breeder who said, hey, I want you to show this dog. And then the next step was, well, you're going to, get a championship and then you're going to show the dog regularly and so on and so on. So Joni with Cavaliers. So how was your decision when you got into dogs made? And, every time we make a decision, it's really about a goal, right? Did you ever think about that? The decision is really the goal and the goal is really the decision. Mary says through breeder, showed horses before dogs. Thank you, Mary. Yeah, we often have it incrementally. We create these goals incrementally. Sometimes we're a little more specific. We set very traditional SMART goals, right? Everybody knows what SMART goals are: specific, measurable, attainable, realistic, and time bound, right? So sometimes that's how our goals were more direct. We fix them, we study them, right? But we first have to have a dream, don't we? First have a dream. Who else is going to tell me um, how they got into dogs? How did that decision come to you? I see all you people here, and I'm not seeing a lot of comments about that. There we go. Kevin says, my cousin Norma Smith. Awesome. Got me in 4-H 49 years ago. How is Norma? She is a great dog lady. And Diane from Pennsylvania with chows. Wonderful. Brian with mini schnauzers. Fantastic. All right. So Debbie says, my breeder said he would be show quality. That was 12 years ago, and here I am now. Exactly. Patty says, hey, Patty Pipes, bought a pet, but as he grew, breeder realized he was show quality. I was delighted. Childhood dream of showing a dog. So yours was a combination, wasn't it? Cindy Siberians from Oregon. Oh, I'm glad Norma's doing great. Give her my regards. Joni says, we started with a smooth collie and a standard poodle in performance. We wanted to downsize and decided on Cavaliers. Met Mary Hannis and 13 years ago, and she sold us our first Cavalier. That's a great story. So are these decisions that we make and how they come together for us become our stories. And I was watching a TED Talk the other night, and he said, our stories, if we look at the difficulties that we have in life, it becomes part of our story, and it actually makes our story more rich. Okay, let's see what have we got here. Ginger with Salukis in St. Louis. Dee Dee Wilson, I think that's how it's pronounced. Mini Bull Terriers here in the Northeast. Had standards since I was 9. Cool. Marie wanted a Rottweiler. Went to a local dog show in 1990. Met a breeder. Knew nothing about showing. Breeder showed in a few shows, and we got hooked. I love that story. So sometimes when there's an ease and a grace around your story, that too can become part of the richness of it, is that synchronicity that we have when things go smoothly. So there's a validity to both ways of how we get into dogs. And sometimes there are bumps in the road, and sometimes it's smooth sailing. More often than not, it's smooth sailing until there's a bump in the road. Okay, Cindy says, I bought a dog under a show contract, never showed before, and I've been sucked into the show world. I have heard that, Cindy. I have heard that. Susan, hi, Susan. My goals and my breed have morphed and changed over the years. Well, I hope so. Because as we move through the path, right? Sometimes it's, straight. Sometimes there's some twists and turns in it. And when there's a twist, you have to turn, right? You have to pivot. And we've learned that in COVID, in the time of COVID, haven't we? We've learned how to pivot. So I have been working on the judging panel for Vancouver Kennel Club. And, I've had a number of judges changed. They couldn't travel. Something came up. Different things have happened. And so I, as the show chairman, have to pivot and change. My goal is still the same of getting the panel together, but I've got to pivot on how I'm going to get there. So then those incremental plans, the short-term plans change. The short-term goals change. The short-term decisions, whatever you want to call it, change. And it's all fun. Linda Nelson Vinson, hello, Linda. Joined an all-breed club with my obedience dog, and most of them, whoops, I lost it. Somewhere here. Oh boy. Okay. Denmark, the biggest decision is to import an Amstaff and try my luck. Join my local club in Canada. I'm fortunate enough to meet wonderful people in Amstaff Club in Canada. Then rest is history. I'm loving it. Isn't that true? Isn't that true? The rest is history. We create our own history. So every time we go to a dog show, there's historical factor there. It doesn't matter what happens. It's part of our history. It's part of the richness of how we live our life in dogs. Mitra says, Havanese, when I owned a grooming shop in California, Canada, 1999, met my future mentor, Carrie. She talked me into purchasing a male Havanese show prospect. I was hooked now 22 years later. Wow, that's awesome. That's great. Jeannie, this is long, Jeannie. Bought a pet in 2008 and started showing him. Managed to finish him, but she was hooked. As a kid, she competed in horses. That's awesome. Neutered your first wolfhound. Searching for quality breeders. Found 2 to mentor me. That's awesome. You have some really good mentors in your breed. People who really, really care about it and really mentor and foster the history of that breed and the function and type. She says she's won 2 specialties, become parent club judge's mentor, and now with other hounds in Iowa, we plan on establishing Iowa Hound Association. Woohoo! Nice. Congratulations. And Dee Dee Wilson says, replying to Maggie, first at a national, good for you. I know any ribbon at a national is fantastic. Any ribbon at a national. Congratulations. Maggie says, my dog's bite corrected enough to show our first was the national, and we did well. That's great. Waited 12 years for my Saluki. You sure did, Ginger. And you're doing awesome with him. All right. Judy says, just started racking up owner handle points. Was not a goal. Then the momentum took off. Now we are gold, and no mini has reached platinum. So now we have a goal. You know, Dee Dee, that is so true. And I'm so glad that you posted that, because sometimes we take a few steps and then it just, like you said, it just takes off and it's really exciting and it becomes fun, right? It's fun for you. Now you win some, you lose some, but you always are moving forward because there's that momentum, that impetus, that desire, right? That desire nature of, wow, this is fun because I'm achieving my goals. I make a decision. You made a decision. Oh, well, I'm going, so I'm going. How fun. That is really fun. So part of what I think goals are about, it's not just SMART goals, but it's focused action, right? It's focused action, which is, it's more an emotional action than it is a mental action. So when we combine that focused action with the mental action, right, the SMART goals, you really have some profound goal setting. And it's all about, we're going to go back to, it's all about the dream. And it's about having fun with our dreams. Okay, I'm going to throw in one more thing, and that is bucket list. So I never really thought much about a bucket list. I it's like bucket list, so what? But then I started really thinking about a bucket list. And I thought, well, what if I set what if it was really about goal setting? What if my bucket list was really just the things that I wanted to accomplish in my life? Not so much the doing, not so much, going here or doing that or going on a zip line or, one of my most important goals that I wanted to reach in my life was to go to Africa. That was like a thing. I wanted to go to Africa. So a long time ago, I went to Egypt. And then a couple of years ago, I went to South Africa. So I've got both ends of the continent, both north and south ends of the continent. But what I realized was it wasn't really part of a bucket list per se. But what if I created one? And so I actually have a friend who has a company, a business. And that's what he does. He helps people create their bucket list and then achieve those goals. And I think that's really fun. So I thought, well, why don't I do that? So in goal setting and Dog Show Mentor this month, we're going to have bucket list achievements. All right. Jeannie says, oops, I already read that one. Okay. You also need achievable goals. Please do set them please, I think you meant don't set them so high you become discouraged. Sometimes a goal can be one step at a time. Climb the ladder to success. Absolutely, Jeannie. We call them incremental goals. But I like those big, hairy, audacious goals too, right? Don't you love those? Because then it's anything along the way is achievable and fun. So that's part of what SMART goals are is achievable. If you have a pet dog and you think you're going to win garden, you're probably not, right? So I think that's what Jeannie means. But what you can do is get a better dog and learn more and then go to the garden. Katie says, ooh, for me, bucket list in regards to dogs is adding titles on the back end. I have always focused on conformation. Now I want to go after versatility awards. So far, we have novice, trick title, working on scent work. I have heard novice trick title is really fun. And I totally believe in teaching our dogs tricks because I think everything is a trick. Stand stay is a trick. Showing the bite is a trick. Everything is a trick. And if you just look at it as a trick, it's all good. It's all smooth sailing from there. I do not take my own advice. Get those big, hairy, audacious goals. All right. Denmark says bucket list to do Montgomery shows, Westminster, Amstaff Major. Well, you have a month to plan. And I'm going to tell you all that on September 28th, Bruce Schwartz, president of Montgomery County Kennel Club, is going to come and be a guest here on this Facebook Live. And so I hope all you terrier people will come and support Bruce and I. And I hope that you non-terrier people will come and learn more about what it's all about. Cindy says, my bucket goal for next year is to go to Calgary for Canada's biggest show. Well, that's an exciting goal. I hope you will. I'm pretty sure that you can do that. What's standing in your way? If you need help, I'm here to help you. Oh, I forgot. I'm supposed to mention Mastery applications. We're taking applications for the Mastery program starting in January. Don't wait. Slots are filling up pretty quickly. Michael says, I got you. All right, Susan, my bucket list item left is a best in show in the US. I had some in the 80s in Europe, but never here in the USA. Well, get going on that. Okay. It is all real. Mastery is unreal. Michael says mastery is unreal. It is unreal. I know. You got a little bit taste of it last night, didn't you? Let's see. Mary wanted to show at Westminster, did that this year. Now want to handle a bred by dog at the National. Okay. Well, do you have one? And do you have one that can cut the mustard, as they say? Okay. And I see that the mastery application is in the chat, so you're good with that. And we are coming to a little bit low on time. Debbie says her third show will be Montgomery County. Third show will be Montgomery County. Okay, that's awesome. That you will be immersed. That will be an immersion for you. It will blow your mind. Every year I go, it blows my mind. All right. So don't forget that focus action and that achievable and measurable goals and those reach goals. The reach goals, they stretch you, right? The reach goals are big, hairy, audacious goals. It's winning a best in show in the US. It is attainable. I'm telling you, I've seen people and dogs win best in show that I never thought would. Like, how could that person and that dog, that team, right, beat this dog team over here? How could they do that? And yet, on that day, they did. They were able to achieve that. If you can dream it, you can achieve it, right? I think that goals are meant to be achieved. And I honestly think that I'm thinking about the Dog Show Mentor members, and I think that I see more people achieving their goals than not. So I think that anybody with a little support, a little guidance, and a lot of drive can achieve their goals. You know, maybe you had a thunderbolt. Did anybody here say that they had a thunderbolt? Right? What goals have you achieved that you're most proud of? Okay, so we talked about what you are looking to achieve and what have you achieved? What goals have you achieved? Michael, you go first. You said you need the guidance to achieve the goals. Well, yeah, I have to admit, Dog Show Mentor loves supporting people to their goals. We do. But what goals have you achieved that you're most proud of? Best of breed at Westminster, Nikki says, I'll bet that was really fun. That must have been really fun. Okay, who else? Who else has achieved a goal? Has no one here achieved a goal they're proud of? Winning a regional specialty with a Bred by Genie. Excellent. Rex says, if you don't set goals, you have nothing to stretch yourself for. Exactly. Okay. Montgomery breed, best of winners on 2 Bred by same year. Excellent, Michael. Nice job. Cindy says, being invited to owner-handled finals at Westminster. Congratulations. Marie says, I put rally AKC titles and UKC on my Roddy Girl and working on scent work titles. Never thought I could get in the ring and do that. Well, you could and you did. Congratulations. The goals we are most proud of is taking our homebred girl all the way to our bronze grand champion with multiple best of breed awards. That's important. And owner handled my dog to best opposite at the national in Montgomery. Wait, wow. Whoops, that was 2 different. And taking our current special on to win in place in multiple groups. Next on the list, receive a best in show or reserve best in show. Yeah, I think that would be nice. Okay. Michael says group placements on 9-month-old Tibbies. No kidding. Tiffany says what I'm proud of. My first dog, I finished at 10 months with 2 best of varieties and 4 majors in a row over 2 weekends. I also bred her, so I was so dang proud. You should be, Tiffany. Congratulations. All right. So now as you look back at these accomplishments, what did you do to get there? Right? What did you do to accomplish these goals? It's not just, look, folks, it's not just accomplishing goals. I mean, that's important, but it's understanding how you got there. It's reflecting on how you got there. So if you're in my Facebook group or if you're in the Dog Show Mentor program, I push you to reflect on how'd you do that? And if you didn't win, how did that go? Why did that happen? And it's never blaming the judge, because you know, that's just judging. We're just judging what we see. So Nikki says, Grand Champion Platinum, only bitch to have in my breed. She's also my breeding. Bred by Grand Champion Platinum, the only bitch to get there. Kathleen, hi Kathleen. My goal is to breed my own specialist quality chin and win best of breed at a national. Hasn't happened yet. Keyword, yet. All right. And Kay, hi Kay. One goal was to be invited to Owner Handled in Orlando. Was number 5 last year, but decided breeding her was more important. She's my first bred by puppies born December 7th. Nice. Congratulations. Very nice. Lovely, Kay. Michael says, beating Wendell Samet for breed with a standard poodle at 17. Oh, I would have liked to have seen that. Dee Dee says, time, focus, money. Gotta say it. You know, it's right. It's not a cheap sport, and it does take a lot of time. And yes, it takes focus. So well said, Dee Dee. I encourage Dog Show Mentor members to track their spending. I hear a lot of people say, oh, I don't even want to know how much it cost. No, actually you do, because this is the real world and you can't get away from it by not thinking about it. So go ahead and track your spending and don't be cheap, because it's not a cheap sport. Tiffany says, years of work, also the right dog is really helpful. It just has to line up sometimes. Right, exactly. The sun, the moon, and the stars. Yeah. Jeannie, goal for 2023. I showed a girl at 2 specialties in June. She went winner's bitch both days for 5 points. Congratulations. Next year, I want that last major and finish her with only specialty points. She is a mature girl at 4.5, and I bred her. Very nice. Very nice. Working and improving my handling by watching the pros in the groups. Yeah. Sandy. Hey, Sandy. I didn't see you here before, replying to Michael. I guess so. All right. We are just about out of time. Don't forget, join the Facebook group, Dog Show Mentor Owner Handlers Facebook group. And it's not to be confused with AKC Owner Handled ED, Owner Handled competition, because we're judging the dogs, not the people. Okay. Betty Ann says, my goal is to finish a border myself. Almost there. Need a 3-point major on 1. Now I co-own a male. Good for you. Valerie says, best of winners from bred by at Tibetan Terrier National Specialty in U.S. Congratulations, Valerie. Nice work. Rageshwar, hi, welcome. I am new owner handler, so my goal is to earn our championship while simultaneously improving our teamwork and ring skills and not losing sight of the fun we have. That's a priority. It's working. Several best of breed and best of breed owner handled. And owner handled group 4. Aha. One step, another step. One step, another step. And okay, good. And here's the Facebook group in the chat. So make sure that that you go there if you're not already a member, and just answer one question and you'll be in. All right. So I think we've got it all covered. Don't forget those links, link to the free Facebook group and the link to the mastery application. If you have questions, just contact me. You can contact me privately through Dog Show Mentor Facebook group or through my own private messenger. All right. All right. And there's also a couple more links, and Michael has some comments as well. All righty. Thank you all for being here. This is Lee Whittier, your Dog Show Mentor, signing off. Bye, everybody.